students. Today let's look at verb tenses. We usually say there are 12 tenses in English: past, present, and future, combined with simple, perfect, progressive, and perfect progressive aspects to yield 12 tenses. Don't forget passive verbs. Passive verb forms are very regular, and if you study them, you can learn them pretty easily. Pause the video and study the forms. Okay, remember we use passive when we want to make the object the subject. To form a passive verb, use the auxiliary verb be and the past participle of the main verb. The auxiliary verb be forms all 12 tenses in the passive. Verb tense rules are the same for passive and active verbs, so we'll just take away the passives for now. Okay, let's look at the perfect progressive forms now. These are used to tell how long something has been going on. Lisa had been throwing parties for several years before the war started. Perfect progressives have this one function: to answer the question how long. They're relatively infrequent, so let's take them away. Okay, let's look at the simple tenses now. The simple present is used for general statements, opinions, or facts. Lisa throws parties. While the simple past is used for specific statements about a specific event at a specific time in the past. Lisa threw a big party last year. So there's quite a stark contrast between the simple present and the simple past. Let's look at another set of examples. American Indians live on reservations. In general sentences like these, we use the simple present. The simple past, on the other hand, is used with specific dates. Columbus discovered the New World in 1492. Notice how the distinction between general and specific is reflected in nouns as well as verbs. Use plural count nouns with no the in general sentences, and names and specific nouns with the in specific sentences. Okay, a word about the future. What we usually call the future is just the base form with the modal will. You can also use the modal shall to form the future, or any number of other verbs. They all have slightly different meanings. Okay, let's subtract the simple tenses from our reckoning. Let's look next at the present perfect and the present progressive. There's a stark contrast here too. The present progressive means right now, but the present perfect means the past. The present is now, and perfect means before, so present perfect means before now. That's the past. Okay, the present perfect contrasts with the simple past too. The simple past is used with specified times. Don't specify a time with the present perfect. I have been in Paris at 9 a.m. doesn't make sense. The present perfect can be used in general sentences. Many young people have dreamt of going to Paris. The time is unspecified and not the point of the sentence. Okay, if we subtract the present tenses, we're left with 4 tenses: past and future, perfect and progressive. They express a stark contrast too. The perfect tenses mean the action came before another action, and the actions didn't coincide. Everyone had boarded the plane when the captain closed the door. The progressive tenses mean the action coincides with another action. We were looking out the window when the plane took off. This distinction often results in logical inferences. Let's study this. Pause the video to read and answer the question. Okay, when the dinner party guests arrived, Sam was taking a bath. When the dinner party guests arrived, Emily had taken a bath. Who was not expecting the guests so early? Okay, the answer is Sam. He had not finished bathing, so he probably was not expecting the guests at that time. Let's try another question. Pause the video to read and answer it. Okay, when the police arrived, Sam had driven away. When the police arrived, Emily was driving away. Who was arrested? Have you chosen an answer? Yes, Emily was arrested. Sam had driven away before the police arrived. He was gone before they got there. He was not arrested. However, Emily was driving away when the police arrived. The police saw her. Therefore, she was arrested. As we have seen, the past and future progressive and perfect tenses are used to contrast two actions. If you have just one action, you don't need them. In that case, use the simple tenses and the present tenses. Let's do an exercise. Pause the video and decide which sentence is best. Okay, the correct answer is the one in the simple present tense. Remember, if there's only one verb in the sentence, it should probably be a simple tense verb or a present tense verb. Don't let those other fancy tenses fool you. Let's do two more exercises. Pause the video and choose the correct verb. Can you explain why? Okay, have arrested is correct. We use the present perfect for an action in the past with no specified time reference. The focus in sentences like this is on the action of the verb and not the details of when and where. Last exercise. Pause the video and choose the correct verb. Okay, have you chosen an answer? Was shot is correct. This is the passive form of the simple past. We use the simple past because there is a specified time. For more practice with verb tenses, see the web links section of the course.